Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So one of the things I want to talk about now is I kind of want to get into a little real estate spree, right? Like, I want to start off though by like trying to understand real estate, like try to get a good understanding of what's going on, what it is, right? But let's start off with that. Like, what is real estate? Well, real estate's going to be the land along with any permanent improvements attached to the land, whether natural or man-made, including water, trees, minerals, buildings, homes, fences, bridges, stuff like that. Real estate's a form of, real property, right? Now, it differs from personal property, which are things not permanently attached to the land, such as vehicles, boats, jewelry, furniture, farm equipment, stuff like that. So let's get into understanding real estate, right? Because people often use the terms land, real estate, and real property, interchangeably, but there's some distinctions, right? There's some differences. So land refers to the Earth's surface down to the center of the Earth and upwards to the airspace above, including the trees, minerals, and water. Real estate is the land plus any permanent man made additions, such as houses or other buildings. Now, real property, one of the two main classifications of property, is the interests, benefit, and rights inherent in the ownership of real estate. So, broadly speaking, real estate includes the physical surface of the land, what lies above and below it, what is permanently attached to it, plus all the rights of ownership, including the rights to possess, sell, lease, and enjoy the land. So, real property shouldn't be confused with personal property, which encompasses all property that doesn't fit the definition of real property. The primary characteristic of personal property is that it's movable. As some of those examples: vehicles, boats, furniture, clothing, phones, stuff like that. So, let's talk about the physical characteristics of real estate. Land has three physical characteristics that differentiate it from other assets in the economy. The first one we want to talk about is immobility. While some parts of the land are removable and the topography can be altered, the geographic location of any parcel of land can never be changed. Right? And then there's indestructibility. Land is durable and indestructible. Right? It's going to be there. It's permanent. Right? Uniqueness. No two parcels of land can be exactly the same. Even though they may share a bunch of similarities, every parcel differs geographically. Okay, well then let's move into the economic characteristics of real estate. Because land also comes, with some distinct economic characteristics that influence its value as an investment, right? And that's what we're looking into, right? Because we want to invest in real estate and make some money, grow our wealth. So the first thing to talk about is going to be scarcity. While land isn't considered rare, the total supply, it's fixed. Then you got improvements. Any additions or changes to the land or a building that affects the property's value is called an improvement. Improvements of a private nature, such as homes and fences, are referred to as improvements, on the land. Improvements of a public nature, sidewalks or sewer systems, are called improvements, to the land instead of on the land. Then there's permanence of investment. Once land is improved, the total capital and labor used to build the improvement, represent a sizable fixed investment. Even though a building can be razed, right, destroyed, torn down, whatever, improvements like drainage, electricity, water, and sewer systems tend to be permanent because they can be, they can't be removed or replaced, economically. Location or area preference, right? Location refers to the people's choice and taste regarding a given area, based on factors like convenience, reputation, and history. Location is one of the most important economic characteristics of land. That's why you always hear, the saying, location, 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 right? So moving on, we can talk about the different types of real estate, right? And, there's really five main types of real estate. So there's going to be, residential real estate, right, which is any property used for residential purposes, right? Could be single family homes, condos, co-ops, duplexes, townhouses, multifamily residence with fewer than 5 individual units. Then there's, commercial real estate. Any property used exclusively for business purposes, such as apartment complexes, gas stations, grocery stores, hospitals, hotels, offices, parking facilities, restaurants, stuff like that. Then the third one's going to be industrial real estate. Any property used for manufacturing, production, distribution, storage, research, development, right? Think factories, power plants, warehouses, stuff like that, right? And then we're going to move on to land, right? This includes undeveloped property, vacant land, agricultural land, farms, ranches, timberland, stuff like that. Then the last one is going to be special purpose, right? That's property used by the public, such as cemeteries, government buildings, libraries, parks, places of worship, schools, even, right? Well, then, now that we have an understanding of the types of real estate and some characteristics and examples, well, how does a real estate industry actually work? What's going on here? Well, despite the magnitude and complexity of the real estate market, a lot of people tend to think that the industry consists merely of brokers and salespeople. However, millions of people earn a living through real estate, not only in sales, but in appraisals, property management, financing, construction, development, counseling, education. There's so many different fields. Many professionals and businesses, including accountants, architects, banks, title insurance companies, surveyors, lawyers, right? They depend on the real estate industry. Real estate, it's a critical driver of economic growth in the U.S. In fact, housing starts, right? The number of new residential construction projects in any given month, released by the U.S. Census Bureau, it's a key economic indicator. The report includes building permits, housing starts, and housing completions data, right? Divided into three different categories, right? And those are going to be single family homes, homes with 2 to 4 units, duplexes and fourplexes, and then multifamily buildings with 5 or more units, such as apartment complexes. Investors and analysts keep a close eye on housing starts because the number can provide a general sense of economic direction. Moreover, the types of new housing starts can give clues about how the economy is developing. So let's do an example, right? So if housing starts indicate fewer single family and more multifamily starts, it could indicate an impending supply shortage for single family homes, which could drive up, single family home prices, right? Okay, well then, what about investing in real estate? Like, what type of real estate do you want to invest in? How are you going to go about, right? Well, there's a bunch of different ways to invest in real estate. Some of the most common ways to invest directly are going to include like home ownership, rental properties, house flipping, even wholesaling, right? Now, if you buy physical properties, like rental properties, house flipping, and stuff like that, you can make money two different ways: revenue from rent or leases, and appreciation of the real estate's value. Unlike other investments, real estate is dramatically affected by its location. Factors such as employment rates, the local economy, crime rates, transportation facilities, school quality, municipal services, and property taxes can drive real estate prices up or down. Okay, well, how about some pros and cons? Well, what would the pros be? Steady income, capital appreciation. It's going to diversify your investment portfolio. And then you can also buy it with leverage, right? Okay, well, then what are the downsides? What are the cons? Well, usually illiquid, influenced highly by local factors, right? Requires big initial capital, and it may require active management and expertise. You can invest in real estate indirectly as well. One of the most popular ways to do this is through a real estate investment trust, or a REIT, which we have another video on if you guys want to go watch it. But basically, it's a company that holds a portfolio of income-producing real estate. There are several broad types of REITs, including equity, mortgage, and hybrid REITs. REITs are further classified based on how their shares are bought and sold. There's publicly traded REITs, public non-traded REITs, and then private REITs. The most popular way to invest in a REIT is to buy shares that are publicly traded on an exchange. Since the shares trade like any other security traded on an exchange, like stocks, it makes REITs very liquid and transparent. Like many stocks, you may earn income from REITs through dividend payments and appreciation of the shares. In addition to individual REITs, you can also invest in real estate mutual funds and real estate exchange traded funds, or ETFs. So then what do we like about this? Well, it's liquidity, diversification, steady dividends, and risk-adjusted returns. Okay, well, what don't we like? with low growth and low capital appreciation. Not tax advantaged. It's subject to market risk. There's gonna be high fees, and then mortgage-backed securities, right? Okay, well then, you know, another option, for investing is gonna be those mortgage-backed securities, right? These received a lot of bad press due to the role they played in the mortgage meltdown in 2007, 2008. However, mortgage-backed securities are still in existence and traded. The most accessible way for the average investor to buy, into these products is going to be like ETFs. So, like all investments, these products carry a degree of risk. However, they may offer portfolio diversification. Investors must investigate the holdings to ensure the funds specialize in investment grade mortgage backed securities, not the subprime variety that, figured in the crisis in 2008. How about this? What are some examples? Well, two popular ETFs that give ordinary investors access to mortgage backed securities are going to be the Vanguard Mortgage Backed Securities ETF, or VMBS, right? And this ETF is going to track the Bloomberg Barclays US MBS float adjusted index. It's made up of federal agency backed MBSs that have minimum pools of 1 billion with a B and minimum maturity of 1 year. The iShares MBS ETF, which is MBB, this ETF focuses on fixed rate mortgage securities and tracks the Bloomberg Barclays US MBS index. Its holdings include bonds issued or guaranteed by government-sponsored enterprises such as Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and so that makes them AAA rated. All right. Well, how about strategies to help maximize your income? Well, a good strategic approach to investing can help you maximize your retirement, while minimizing your investment taxes. So, with no commissions and no financial incentives, you can develop a goal-driven plan to help you do just that, right? There's different places like there's Vanguard's got personal advisor services, or you could go find an advisor yourself, right? You can get access to these services usually for a pretty good price, and be able to set up a plan, get your goals written down, and move forward. So I know that myself, as far as real estate is concerned, I just started, dipping my toes in the water, and I'm just getting started in this direction. So, if there's any questions you guys have about real estate, I'd love to look into it, make a video for you guys. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please think about doing so. Until I see you guys in the next video, y'all be safe.